Adjusted for population, Denmark's coronavirus outbreak has been almost precisely as severe as ours has been here in the U.S. In Denmark, schools and daycare centers are scheduled to open next week. The government plans to roll back more restrictions on May 10th. The outbreak in Austria has also been similar in scope to America per capita. There, the government plans to let small stores reopen April 14th, followed by large stores on May 1st, and then potentially restaurants and schools in the middle of May. So that's what they're doing. We're not doing that here. We're not even talking about doing it because we're not allowed to. Any discussion of how we might transition out of the shutdown back into normal life for some reason has become taboo in this country. Go ahead and raise the question. You'll find yourself denounced as a tool of Wall Street who doesn't care about human life, often denounced by pro-choice activists who are happy to accept cash from corporate America. But the layers of irony are, of course, bottomless. But we shouldn't be surprised by any of this. This is what happens when public debate, healthy public debate, is replaced by memes and mindless partisans on social media define the terms of allowable conversation, as they have. And so we plod forward as if the flawed models weren't flawed at all, as if the reality of what is actually happening in our hospitals should play no role at all in the decisions we make going forward. Dr. Anthony Fauci has announced, for example, that Americans must brace for 18 months of shutdowns at the absolute minimum. And if a vaccine isn't found, it could go on forever.
If back to normal means acting like there never was a coronavirus problem, I don't think that's going to happen until we do have a situation where you can completely protect the population. If you want to get to pre-coronavirus, that might not ever happen in the sense of the fact that the threat is there.
So life may never return to normal in this country. We may never regain what we've lost. You're hearing a lot of people say that all of a sudden. It's becoming a species of conventional wisdom. On MSNBC last night, where conventional wisdom often is born, UPenn professor Zeke Emanuel explained that America may be shuttered for 18 months at least.
Realistically, COVID-19 will be here for the next 18 months or more. We will not be able to return to normalcy until we find a vaccine or effective medications. I know that's dreadful news to hear. How are people supposed to find work if this goes on in some form for a year and a half? Is all that economic pain worth trying to stop COVID-19? The truth is, we have no choice. If we prematurely end that physical distancing and the other measures, keeping it at bay, deaths could skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands, if not a million. We cannot return to normal until there's a vaccine. Conferences, concerts, sporting events, religious services, dinner in a restaurant, none of that will resume until we find a vaccine, a treatment, or a cure.
You can't go to church until we have a vaccine. The truth is, we have no choice. Heard that before? That's a familiar phrase in Washington. It ought to make you nervous. Do what I say, follow my orders without question or complaint, or 1 million people will die. The oceans will rise, the polar bears will perish, the human race itself will go extinct. Okay, maybe. These are smart people. We should hear them out. But these are also big decisions, history-changing decisions with consequences we can't even begin to anticipate this far out. Before we go ahead and alter our lives and our country forever, it is fair to ask about the numbers, their numbers, the ones we acted on the first time that turned out to be completely wrong. How'd they screw that up so thoroughly? That is a fair question. If they can answer that question, answer it slowly, rationally, in a way that makes sense and suggests a deeper humility going forward as they make more decisions, then that's adequate, that's enough. They're allowed to make more public policy decisions. But if they can't answer that question, if they dissemble or dodge or attack the people who ask it, then you know they are disqualified forever from influencing our lives. Let's see if they can do it. They should. We're joined tonight by Fox